Example 8 says the monthly total revenue for satellite radios is given by R of X, where X is the number of radios sold. And so that R of X is represented by the revenue. So part A wants to maximize the monthly revenue, how many radios must be sold, and part B wants to know what is the maximum possible monthly revenue. So before we solve part A and B, let's just kind of talk about this graph. If this is my quadratic, and again, I know it's a quadratic because we have an x squared in here, is this graph going to be concave up or concave down? My A here for this problem is at negative 0.01. It is whatever's in front of that x squared. So because my A is negative, that means that this should be concave down. Now, if it wants us to maximize the monthly revenue, what would be the top of this graph right here? What vocabulary do we have for parabolas? When it wants the maximum, it is essentially asking for the vertex. Okay, so with these application problems, they're not going to just say, find the vertex of this. You have to understand what the graph kind of looks like and understand these key words that it's asking for vertex. So if it wants to maximize the monthly revenue, how many radios must be sold? X equals the number of radios. You're solving for your X coordinate of the vertex. So to find that, we do negative B over 2A. My negative B would be negative 300 over 2 times negative 0.01. So we get negative 300 over negative 0.02. And that gives me 15,000. So word problems need word answers, or at least units. X is that number of radios. So we need 15,000 radios to hit our maximum monthly revenue here. So part B wants to know what is the maximum possible monthly revenue. We want to find that R of X or RY. So plug this number in. So we'll get R of X equals 300 times 15,000 minus 0.01 times 15,000 squared. I'm plugging in my X to both of my X's here. And this will give me my revenue. So here we go. And my revenue would be 1, 2, 3, looks like 2,250,000. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good month, wouldn't you say? And because we're talking about revenue here, revenue is in units of money. Okay, another thing you could do to find that, because again, we're just talking about the maximum, is to graph this and find the vertex. But you'd have to have a pretty big X-min to get that vertex in there. But you could graph it and find the vertex as well.